Mystery 1. How can people be born twice? On a dark night in Jesus' early ministry, a religious leader named Nicodemus came to Jesus. Nicodemus had witnessed several of Jesus' miracles. He saw the sick were healed, the blind received sight, and the deaf could hear. And yet, his fellow religious leaders acted like they hated Jesus. Nicodemus told Jesus, "You must be from God, or you couldn't do all those things." Let's join Nicodemus and Jesus on this dark night and hear from Jesus what he taught about being born again. 1. Nicodemus really wanted to understand. He didn't agree with his fellow religious leaders who were saying Jesus was evil. He was willing to follow Jesus. 2. Jesus told him that in order to see the truth clearly, you have to be born again. Nicodemus, not understanding, asked how a person could be born twice. 3. Jesus didn't mean a flesh and bone rebirth, he meant a spiritual rebirth. Although our bodies have been born, it doesn't mean that our spirits have. 4. Since the fall of Adam, mankind has fallen nature, which means we aren't spiritually tuned to God. It's like we're born with the radio that is out of tune, listening to just static. The radio needs to be adjusted to find a particular station. Finding the right station is like finding God in our lives and being born again as our spirits experience the peace and joy that come from Him. 5. We should follow the example of Nicodemus to follow God and tune our radios to Him. This may mean that we have to keep turning our radios past the static or other stations with competing messages. Since some of those stations can seem loud, strong, or important, and it can be scary to ignore them and stand up for what we believe. 6. However, we can feel the tugging in hearts to know that God and keep going. We can feel the rightness of His messages when we are tuned to His station. He wants us to come to His loving arms, and He wants to teach us to be strong and good. 7. The final step in being born twice is to give your life to Him. We can tell Him that we want to be reborn and follow Him, and then He will take it over from there.